AM 1240 and 95.3 FM, WJON. I'm joined now by the Talent Director for the Greater St. Cloud Development Corporation, Gail Cruikshank. And also Meghan Murphy. Meghan is a volunteer with the St. Cloud Stand Down and also a local HR professional. Gail and Meghan, thanks for joining me today.
Good morning, Jay.
Good morning. Thanks for having us.
Yeah, thanks for being here. So today we're talking about veterans and hiring veterans. Gail, would you like to start?
Yes, I would like to, Jay. Thanks. One of the reasons why Meghan and I wanted to talk about veterans and job seekers and for our employers is as our employers are really struggling to find workers right now, and there's lots of jobs available, what I'd like to do with employers is try and remind them of what I call our pockets of talent. And those are folks that sometimes get overlooked from our HR recruiters, many times inadvertently, but just not seeing the potential for transferable skills and just the talent that these folks bring. And so we wanted to take the opportunity to talk about this job pool and really look to see if there's opportunities to deeper engage them with career opportunities within your local employment.
Okay. And certainly veterans that are coming back and maybe they want to get into something else, after their military career. What are the steps that they typically take and how can employers reach out to them?
Well, that's a great question. And again, unfortunately, many times there isn't just one spot. I mean, there are many resources. Many of them work with Career Force, our local workforce organization and Career Solutions. We do have a number of resources in our community that our veterans can work with to help with employment. But I think the biggest thing is a lot of times they need to highlight that on their resume and highlight what those transferable skills are. You and I talk about transferable skills quite frequently, and veteran employment is one thing that really applies to this in the sense that a veteran can really come in and have skill to do almost any job within an organization. They bring so many attributes and talents and strengths that it's just taking the time to look at their skills and see how they could align to an employer's needs. So, we really just want to encourage employers to think about, don't just discount one of those candidates because their job skills don't exactly, or their job responsibilities or titles don't align with what they're looking for. Look deeper because they bring so much value in the skills that they have gained, no matter what form of service they have been employed with.
Gail, would you say that employers can be less picky now because it seems like there are so many places that are looking for workers?
Yes. It is definitely a job seekers market, and the employers that are opening up their thoughts to, okay, if I can find somebody that has the right personality, the right fit, the desire to succeed, then I can teach them the skills specifically needed for my company. Many times employers listed a dozen or more key job responsibilities that candidate has to have before they'll even consider them. They can't do that any longer, and because they simply just won't find that perfect fit that fits exactly in that hole. So it's really a time for employers to open up their thoughts, think about hiring differently, think about going to different populations to look for talent, and really opening their thoughts and minds to what do I truly, truly need to fulfill this job, and then go from there.
Let's get to some key reasons to hire veterans. Meghan or Gail, either one can handle this one. What would you say are some of the key reasons?
Meghan, go ahead, and you've worked with them so much more. So share some of your thoughts initially.
Yeah, absolutely. So, working in HR, working in recruiting here locally, definitely veteran talent is a population that we love to work with just because of the different skill sets that they bring. And Gail, you mentioned, employers are needing to be a little bit more flexible, a little bit more willing to train up certain skills. And we really see an accelerated learning curve often. Obviously, everyone's military experience is different. We don't want to kind of group this very diverse population into kind of one kind of area. But we typically see a very accelerated learning curve. Veterans have the ability to adapt very well in different situations and really are able to use a lot of transferable skills, like you mentioned, Gail, and bring that into the workplace, even if their military experience is vastly different from what they're, being hired for in the civilian world. They're able to apply a lot of those skills and adapt very quickly. And then, of course, the leadership, right? I mean, at any level in the military, you are in one way, shape, or form seen as a leader doing, work where you're leading by example. And really, veterans seem to understand the ways to manage behaviors, to drive results. So we do see a lot of great leadership through the military talent that we work with in the community.
I'd like to also throw in diversity, equity, and inclusion. Again, every employer, I think, in the community right now is really focused on a heightened awareness to making sure their place of work is inclusive, that they have the diversity represented that match their customer base. And this veteran population, again, brings an easy adaptability to that type of environment. They have worked with a wide variety of colleagues through the work that they have done through their veteran work. And so, again, they come in very adaptable to meet the needs of the organization. They can help lead some of conversations, and they really can make everyone feel comfortable in the environment. And they bring a perspective sometimes that is just a fresh set of eyes and very key to the success of an organization.
I think one of the key things I'm looking at here is that, the respect for procedures and rules and understanding that. You can't survive in the military very long without having a respect for those things. So having that in the workplace, that's a nice plus, because not everybody comes to the workplace with those kind of expectations.
Absolutely. And they can really adapt to change. Again, they don't get worried under pressure. They can respond a lot more effectively. And again, they can lead some great conversations and bring that maybe a group together, that whole teamwork thing. Everything they do is a part of a team. And so that creates some great environments within workers' place of business.
Meghan, can you tell us why hiring veterans has been a priority in jobs that you've been holding here in the St. Cloud area?
Yeah, I think honestly, like Gail said, the diversity that we see coming from our military talent is a huge value add to any organization. I mean, if we look at our military, it's one of the most diverse organizations that naturally exist. So it's a great place to find that diverse talent. And we've just seen a lot of very critical roles be very effectively filled by folks that have that military background. Anything from process management to project management. If you can kind of look beyond the maybe military jargon that, someone outside of the military doesn't understand on a resume, again, those transferable skills really do apply in the civilian world. It's just a matter of kind of teasing that out, having that conversation with that candidate if you are in the HR or recruiting space, to ask questions and learn about what you don't understand. And so, in roles that I've been in, we've really made an effort on the HR side to better understand the language that we're seeing on military resumes so that we can more effectively recruit and hold those conversations with that great talent that's out there.
Can it be challenging for a veteran to know what job they should apply for if it is something that they don't have direct experience, but like we've been talking about, transferable skills may make them appropriate for that job? How do they know which job would make sense for them to apply for based on their skill set?
Yeah, that can definitely be a challenge, especially if people have been, a long-term career, have had a long-term career in the military and then are looking to transition. It's kind of like, where do you start? There's a lot of resources out there to support veterans through that transition. Google even has like a search engine right now that will translate your military MOS or a military job code into kind of civilian work types. There's ONET, there's local companies that will have, military skills translators built into their careers page. So I think companies are getting a little bit more adaptable on their end too, to kind of help folks through that transition. But yeah, it definitely can be a challenge to kind of translate some of those skills. So definitely has to be an effort on both ends. There's some learning for our military members and learning for our HR professionals to kind of meet in the middle with that work. And sometimes it's as simple as starting a conversation and asking the right questions.
Can either of you tell us about some tools for employers and veteran job seekers, places they can go to find out more and, how to kind of connect in situations like this?
I'll start with the employer side, and then I'll let Meghan talk about the job seeker side, because she's been instrumental in putting together some events that are upcoming for our veterans. So as far as the employers, again, as we've talked, just really review resumes and look deep for the skills that they do have and they portray. And I would encourage you too, if you have any past veterans or those folks on your current team, utilize them in just trying to understand skill sets and things like that, because many of those employers have identified one or two key folks that are veterans, and they bring so much value to just helping them understand what do these skills mean. So again, that's a way to incorporate your team and to be able to, again, attain top talent that you might have overlooked in the past. So we have a lot of resources on our Greater St. Cloud website. So just greaterstcloud.com, employer resources. We've got some specifically for veterans and how you can connect with them. Many of them Meghan or I have mentioned this morning, but certainly tools out there for it. And again, there are a number of job fairs that are specific to our veteran population. So I encourage our employers to be on the lookout for those. We will certainly be hosting one here probably the first part of next year with our local veteran group here. So again, we certainly want to continue to do that. And then I'll turn it over to Meghan. She's actually coordinating a fair that's coming up shortly for our veterans that she can speak to.
Yeah, thanks, Gail. So St. Cloud Stand Down is a nonprofit here in the St. Cloud area that is veteran run and veteran focused, and they are holding their annual Stand Down event on Thursday, October 28th at the River's Edge Convention Center. So just couple days away, like Gail said, it's coming up here quick. The event this year does include a job fair specific to veteran talent. So any job seekers out there with that military background, this event is for you to connect and engage with employers, kind of in this environment where it is just military talent that we're seeking and looking for. So the job fair is going to run from about 9 a.m. until 2 over at the River's Edge Convention Center. As of right now, we've got about 25 to 30 employers that will be there for a diverse range of professions. So lots of opportunities out there. But again, that is the St. Cloud Stand Down Job Fair on Thursday, October 28th at the River's Edge Convention Center.
All right, very good. Well, thank you both. We're out of time, but I appreciate your time today, and you guys both have a great day.
All right. Thanks, Jay.
That's Gail Cruikshank. Gail is the Talent Director for the Greater St. Cloud Development Corporation. You can also find out more. Go to stcloudshines.com. Always a good place to find out more about jobs for veterans and for others. And Meghan Murphy joining us today, volunteer with St. Cloud Stand Down and a local HR professional.